Hello friends, I hope you all are fine. In this tutorial, I am going to cover rings and rods problem, which is weekly contest 271 problem, and the problem number is 2103. As you can see, this is the description of the problem. What we need to do in this problem, we need to find the number of rods. We need to find the number of rods which contain all three rings: red, green, blue. If there is one rod which contains all three rings, we will return 1. If there are zero rods, then we will return 0. Here this is an example. Here as you can see, a string is given, and first position basically represent the color, which is blue, and the second contain the rod number. If it is 0, then it is a first rod. Okay, the first rod contains blue, and first rod contains green, and this first rods contain red. So as you can see, where there is 0, and we will there is a number, there is a color. Okay, so we need to find the number of rods which contain all these three colors. Okay, this is basically the description of the problem. This is what it says, and let's see how we can do this. Okay, so we will create a function. We will call this function count points. Okay, and that function will basically takes rings, string rings as arguments. Okay, so it will look like this. Here is the string. We will call this function, and then this is the input. Okay, so first what we will do, we will create an array. So what we will do, we will basically at each index position we will store which colors they contains, which rings they contain. So it will look like that. First what we will do, we will create an array at array 0 index. At rod 1 we will create an array, and we will store. As we can see, at rod 1 we contains it contains blue, at as you can see green, and red. Okay, so at 0 index it contains these three rings. Let's see what it contains at the index position 1. At there is no 1 position, then there is 6 position. At 6 position it contains blue. Here you can see there is 6, and this is red, and also at 6 it contains another red. Okay, and let's see what it contains. And then at the ninth position it contains green. It only contains. So now we will create a multi-dimensional array that will look like this. So how we can do this? We will run a loop. The loop will start from 1 and we will execute the loop till length of the string, and we will increment the loop by 2. So what we are doing, we starting the position loop with 1, so we will get this any element, and when we minus that element by 1, we will get this. Another times we will loop will be incremented by 2, we will get this position, and we will again minus 1 and we will get b. So we will get all the elements and store that all those elements at their respective position in the array. So let's see, rings, colors, and this is basically the index. If it is 0, will return 0. Okay, and then we will store so what we are doing here, we are getting 1 minus 1 is 0, we are getting b, and we are storing b at the 0 position. Again, if it finds 0, it will store green, and then if it finds 0, it will store red, something like that. And when this loop will be completely executed, it will create an array like this. Okay, so this is how it will work. Now what we will do, now let's close this one. Now we will execute a for each loop that will access this multi-dimensional array. Rings, colors is colors. Again, since it's a multi-dimensional array, at 0 we will again need to access these elements, so we'll again execute loop. Okay, so now what we'll do, if this position index 0 contains all blue, green, red, then the rods we will increment the rods by 1. Okay, if only it contains this position, or this position contains all these rings, then we will increment by 1. So if color is equal to blue, so here we will check whether all these colors exist or not. So first, all these colors are initialized to value 0, exist is equal to 0, and blue exist is equal to 0. So if blue exists at this location, then we will set blue to 1. Okay, else if color green exists, we will set this green to value 1, and in the end, if color should be equal to, okay, if red exists, R exists, we set this value to 1. If all these 3 elements exist, then we will check whether all these are set, using AND statement. If all these are set, then only we will declare another variable that we call rod count. So this variable will basically count the number of rods which contain all these red, green, blue and rings. If all these are set, then only we will increment this. Okay, and then we will use this. Then return the value of rod count. Okay, this is how our script, complete script will look like. So let's test this one, how it works. There's an error, we need to check at line 33. There's something, yes, and step I have missed. Call to another function, I have not used it correctly. Should be this one. Okay, as you can see, it has returned the correct value. It should return 1. And again, let's test with another input. As you can see, it's again return 1. And if we test with the last one, G4, it should return 0. As you can see, this is our script and this is how it will work. So that's all I have for this tutorial. I know this is not an optimal solution. In the next tutorial I will try to explain the optimal solution of this problem. Thank you so much.